video here. I'm Benjamin, and today, honestly, we're going to be going over Ethereum, possibly Bitcoin, and the S&P charts. But before I get right into the market, please leave a like, drop a comment, and if you can subscribe, I greatly appreciate that. Honestly, before I get into the market, there is a lot of stuff that's been going on. We've been consolidating a lot. I didn't release a video yesterday just because of the consolidation that has been going on. I don't really want to pump FOMO or fear or greed into the market like a lot of people do, a lot of YouTubers do. So I just decided to wait just to get more data to come back and show you guys realistically what is going on. So real quick, we're just going to dive, before I dive into Ethereum, we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into the S&P 500 just to show you guys what's going on. As you can tell on the daily, we are getting a bit of resistance at our flat at 4177, realistically around 4200. But to go and look at this on the weekly, just to show you, we did have a possible RBI, but after obviously our bounce off this 200 moving average, which would have been great to buy into right here. However, we are still continuing this descending channel. Obviously, breaking out of this could show great bullish activity, which we just did with that RBI right here, breaking out. Possibly we could come back down and at least retest our 50 moving average, which is the blue, get a bullish cross, and then continue to push up. I do believe that this is going to start, or is the start of a push for bullish momentum, just because we were making lower highs and then eventually made a higher low. Obviously bouncing off of our 200 moving average, which is pushing us to the bullish side more than anything. But after right here, this is a great indicator right here, this GBI of pushing us to the bullish side past our resistance right here. Obviously we did break through, tapping, I believe it was 4,300 or just like 10 points shy of, nope, 4,200 we did tap, and then obviously coming back down off of a rejection or a retracement just off of that bullish momentum, just to probably most likely confirm that we're going to continue to the upside. But other than that, realistically, that is another week. We are getting into weekly here soon. I believe tomorrow, or if not, no, it is today around 5-ish for the new weekly as well as our new daily. However, looking at our monthly for the S&P 500, we did end up rejecting, like I said, around our 42, possibly even our 43, no, 4200 off of our red moving average, which is our 20. This is obviously anticipated. These indicators are heavily respected, especially on the higher time frames. So we did get out of most trades that we did take. We are in a few as of right now, just on the crypto side. But honestly, for the S&P 500, like I'm saying, we did end up breaking out. I do anticipate that we continue if we cannot get a daily close above our support, which I can show you right now on our daily. Right now, if we can't hold this and we can't continue to stay above this, then we will continue to the downside just because of how much we got rejected right here, or at around our 4200 level. But other than that, realistically, if we do continue to the downside and don't manage to find any support, I am looking for at least right here. Not realistically, it's really far down, but we can, depending on how hard this rejection is, we can definitely come back down that far. But if you want to look, we are holding this support. We did stab through it as of right now around the 4,050 levels. But honestly, if we do end up coming back down, I'm looking more at our 50 moving average, which is around 4,000 once again, and then probably some more ping pong action between the stocks data between these levels if we are trying to continue to the bullish side, like I said, after breaking to the upside after bouncing off of our W and 200 moving average. But that's realistically it for the S&P 500. Real quick, jumping into Ethereum, just to show you guys what is going on. Bitcoin and Ethereum, very, very similar on how they're acting on the data charts. If anything, they're very sympathetic. So if Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum goes up. And if Ethereum goes up, most likely Bitcoin's up. So it is very sympathetic. Very, they have a lot of sympathy plays that are going on. Honestly, like if you look at the daily for Bitcoin, it has an RBI. If you look at crypto, or not crypto, but Ethereum, it has an RBI as well, and literally the exact same setup, just different price points. But other than that, realistically, looking at the daily for Ethereum, like I just said, we do have an RBI, which is great bullish momentum, but then again, we do have a bit of rejection at 1700. I do have 2 slots open right now, just in case we do decide to push to the upside. But if we don't, I'll close them, start to short down to our 50 moving average, or if possibly, depending on which level and how much volume we have while going down, I'll either do 1650, the moving average, or 1600, depending on how much. But this does look very bullish. We did break past everything, all of our levels. I mean, I've had a few videos and as well as a few live streams. If you guys want to go check that out on Benefits Live, shameless plug. but that honestly that we did end up passing most of these levels: 1500, 1550, 1450. All of these levels we did break past pretty fast in one run, realistically. Obviously these are several days. We're on the daily time frame, so these are days, but we did do this pretty fast. I'm gonna be real with you. We've been consolidating honestly for a very long time at around our 1500 levels to our 1700 levels now. But I'm not really realistically too worried. Our 200 moving average is carrying us sideways, which isn't too detrimental to the bullish momentum for Ethereum at all, or crypto. Realistically, we did get that great entry off of our bounce off of the 200 moving average with this bull 180. Could have got in right there, rode this all the way up. Obviously, like I said, like we did, you have to respect the pump. You do not want to disrespect this and get greedy and say we want to continue. I know that kind of looks like what I'm doing, but I'm anticipating off of this. Honestly, this could be a V reversal. This is very, very good data to see right here. Obviously, the bears came in very strong. It wasn't strong enough. We hit our 200 moving average and it came back even stronger. We went down in 3 candles, we came up in 3 candles, and even passed and made a new high, past 1700. We've been wicking and stabbing 1700 for the past few days, just haven't been able to realistically breach that, which is getting a bit concerning just because the longer we do consolidate, like I said, we end up dropping. So if we end up consolidating up here for too long, we will end up dropping to the downside, which is not necessarily what we'd like to see. Things do happen in the market. A lot of people are anticipating that we do end up rejecting just because of the S&P 500, but I have a little bit of difference in an analysis, at least for the markets as of right now, just because of what I've seen us do. But besides that, news can come in and impact that, so you do have to be careful every day. Choose every day as a new day, get new data. You just have to go with what it's showing you. Don't try to plan something and then try to force that plan onto the stocks. It's not how that goes. So equally, don't chase the stock. But other than that, realistically looking at the weekly for Ethereum, we did get rejected, which I did say that we anticipated, obviously, after rejecting our 50 moving average on the weekly. But other than that, we are getting this cross right here for our 20 moving average into our 50, which is bullish, as well as getting that bull 180 completion for the weekly, as well as we have a new weekly, like I said today. We should have got one realistically on the 5, but I did see this form brand new yesterday. It could just be my charts and where I'm at and the location, and that I'm getting the news a little bit earlier, because on TradingView we don't have the new weekly just yet, and that's more like US time or New York time. But other than that, Eastern time. Other than that, realistically, there's not really too much, like I said, going on with the crypto markets. It's more of a move that is pending. But for right now, I would just stay seated, be patient, because we did get the shoulder, the head and shoulders right here, pushed us all the way down. A lot of people have to remember how far we actually are down. And if we were to go much further, honestly, the markets would kind of freak out. And it's not just the crypto markets, the stock markets would freak out as well. So realistically, I'm just waiting. Obviously, when we break out of these downtrends, these descending channels, we add more to our holdings. Obviously, not trading. If we were to trade, we could. But I realistically use this part of my holdings, excuse me, portfolio. So when we do end up dropping, like I would have added some here. We'd unfortunately drop. I'd add some here, and then we'd drop. I'd add some here. I'd add some here. And eventually, when we do end up passing all of these, you're all in profits. So that's just on the holding side. On the staking side of actually owning some crypto, I do own XRP, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. But besides that, realistically, for trading, you do want to get in and out. You don't want to get liquidated. You don't want to stay in something for too long. There's tons of swing traders. I mean, I swing trade as well. But realistically, you have to find out where you're comfortable in. Especially for beginning, you have to see where you're comfortable in, where you're trading at, and what you like to really pay attention to, and what you can get consistent with. The stuff that I have on my graph is just what I find consistent, and it kind of narrows the stock down and crypto down for me. A lot of people have 90 indicators, 5 screens. You can make it overcomplicated if you would like, but realistically, this doesn't have to be. Again, maybe they're into it that far and they're in love with what they're doing. Trust me, I am too. But then again, I'm not trying to making money overcomplicated for myself. So it can be very simple. 3 indicators, an RSI, an EMA. You just throw a few things on there that you fully understand and can use and actually help you. But other than that, I did say we were going to look at Bitcoin just real quick, so I won't necessarily let you guys down there. I'll go take a look at it just to show you guys that it is very, very similar to what we're looking at right now with Ethereum. Let's go to the charts real quick. See, then again, we're getting that bull 180 and that cross, but unfortunately we are hitting below of that 200 moving average. So if anything, yeah, we just got that new weekly. But if we don't end up passing this, hopefully we can bounce off that 50, push past this 200 moving average. If not, we fall to the downside, come back for our 20 moving average, and that should cross us up to the bull side. If not, then this cross is going to be pretty deep and it's going to push us down even further, which I don't anticipate at all. Just realistically, like I said, you have to see what data comes out and what you can utilize for yourself. But that's on the weekly, so let's check on the daily real quick. You'll see an update. We do have that RBI and that cross that is trying to attempt us to push forward. However, like I said, we are getting squeezed at that level right there at that, I'd say 24,500. We did just pass it just a little bit. We're at the 24,659 right now. But then again, we do have a bit of resistance here. We're not necessarily too overbought. We are still sitting stagnant on the overbought. Like I said, the longer we consolidate, the more we'll fall. Right here, we're not necessarily consolidating, just more pending, trading sideways. Hopefully we can get this to pinch and push up to at least breach it and close above. If we can breach it and close above, then we'll continue to the bullish side. If we just breach it, stab it, we could take profits, get out, and then we will see that it will end up coming to the downside, at least to reject, retrace a bit, breathe, and then most likely continue to the bull side. But other than that, let's check the monthly just for you guys real quick, just so you can see how far we did come down. We did have a lot of people are saying this is a double top. You can say this is a head and shoulders. There's a lot of things that people are out here pinning. I'd call this most likely a double top just because of these two right here. But we did end up, this was probably most likely trying to save Bitcoin, the bulls, and then just more bad news. But honestly, we did get that bull 180. Interesting bull 180. It's not necessarily the cleanest looking one. I like Ethereum's charts way more. But we did end up breaking bullish past that, and honestly, we ran all the way up. Now we are on the monthly closing above, hopefully, above our 50 moving average, our blue. And right now we are above it. We can reject off of this and decide to come back down and create a bull or a bear, 180, and that would be, a bearish momentum. However, we have seen a lot of bullish momentum lately, as of recently, so we should continue to push back up. If we cannot get past our 27,500 level, or at least close above it, then like I said, I will anticipate us to at least continue bouncing between these ranges. But again, if we can close above this on a weekly, daily, a monthly, it's just more, it'd be stronger info and more data for us to continue to one side of the analysis that we're creating. So whether the bulls or bears are taking over currently. But other than that, like I said, there's really not too much going on right now, just more of a pending sideways channel. We do have a long-term descending channel on a few things. Most markets right now, as you can tell, are in this descending channel. Some of them have broken out, like the S&P 500 and Ethereum and so on. But other than that, like I said, you can look at XRP. It is squeezing, getting pretty tight around here, but we are rejecting off of our 200 moving average, unfortunately. Looking at our weekly, we are attempting to get that bull 180, but if we, like I said, cannot, which you just saw that we didn't, we got the new weekly. This can be worrying just because this can become a GBI and pushes to the downside. But then again, this could be a double top as well. And this could be a signal that we are going to drop further. This could have been a head and shoulders right here. This is a little concerning, maybe the double top and M pushing us to the downside. However, that's the weekly. We look at the monthly. We're not doing necessarily too bad. Still, I'm not really a fan of the charts for XRP. We do look like a GBI for the monthly. Not really too much momentum. We did flatten out right here at the bottom, just weak candles for this level. I'd say around 30 cents, 31 cents, 32 cents. Not really getting much momentum from XRP. We did blow up. It was a hot coin for a while. But a lot of people are still bringing a lot of attention just because the feds keep re-announcing this coin. Wouldn't take it too serious until, it shows you otherwise. But like I said again, there's not really too much happening right now, just more of a waiting, pending phase. Don't get caught up with the news. Don't get greedy. Don't chase the stocks. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ciao.